Shalom, all praise to Yahawah, BaHasham, Yahawashi, BaHasham, Rakakadash. Much respect to the brothers that are out there preaching and teaching the truth worldwide across the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom for this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the house of David, and the Akim and Akwaf that might be listening to this lesson on today. This is your brother Abba Yabba coming through with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawashi. And the title of my lesson is Our Healing Comes from Yahawashi. And healing is defined as the process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. Now, we know that we didn't become healed spiritually until we came into this truth, because we were broken, we were confused, we were misled in the religion that we had before we came into this truth. Yahawashi allowed us to be healed from that. And also, we know as far as our bodies, only Yahawashi could heal us. We cannot heal ourselves. We don't have that ability. He can give us that ability, but it all comes from Yahawashi. And that brings me to my first scripture in Deuteronomy 32 and 39. And it reads, it says, "See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." So it says there plainly and clearly that Yahawashi is the only one that has the ability to kill, to make alive, to wound, or to heal. We give ourselves so much credit to think that we may be able to do something. That's why in so many situations where doctors have that God complex when they do successful surgery, or they're good, even sometimes great at their craft, they seem to think that they're the one that's doing it. But no, we in this truth and that truly have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding know that it is Yahawashi that is allowing them to do what they do. Even with us, whatever our profession may be, we're only good or great at those particular things because we have been given that ability, that gift, that blessing. It comes from Yahawashi, and we cannot do anything without him. Psalms 41 and 3 reads, "The Lord will strengthen him upon the bed of languishing. Thou wilt make all his bed in his sickness." So Yahawashi is the one that whenever one of us becomes sick, he will restore us to our healthy state. We can take all the medicine, we can do all the things as far as eating right and exercising and everything that comes with that. But only Yahawashi will be able to heal us from whatever we're dealing with. And that's why we have to always look to him with cometh our help and understand that it is all about him and it's not about us. We will need to be healed more so than not, because this world is wicked. This world is evil. This world is confusing. And it is a multiple amount of snares, traps, hindrances in this world, distractions, things that'll cause you to feel and think in a way that disconnects you from your source of healing. And that's why we have to constantly examine ourselves. We have to constantly understand what this world is trying to do to us as believers, because we know that we're in a wicked kingdom, whether it be having us worry, having us stress, having us second guess ourselves. We know everything comes from Yahawashi, and it's not about us. And like I said, it never will be. We will have to understand that we have to be connected to Yahawashi, because that is where our healing comes from. That's where our help comes from. That's where our strength comes from. Psalms 147:3 reads, it says, He healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. So once again, that allows us to know that Yahawashi is the one that's doing the healing. He's the one that's doing the restoration of us when we're wounded, when we have a broken heart, when we're in a state of brokenness. Only Yahawashi can bring us out of that. We cannot do it ourselves. No matter what motivational books that we read, no matter what someone may give us as far as encouragement, only Yahawashi will be the one to bring us out. But we have to believe in Him, in Yahawashi. And He will send angels. He will send brothers. He will send those that truly in this truth, that believe to assist. But when it all comes down to it, the common denominator, the true factor in it all is Yahawashi. He will use those as vessels, but it all stems and comes from Him. It is only us being utilized, not to say that we have that particular healing power. Isaiah 41:10 reads, it says, Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. So once again, He's going to give us everything that we need. He is that power source. He is that motivating factor to do what is ever that needs to be done. He is everything that we need, no matter what our situation is, no matter what it looks like. A lot of times we tend to overthink things, and we tend to get ourselves in a bind. A lot of our wounds, a lot of our sickness is self-inflicted. But we know in this truth that if we look to the hills which cometh our help, if we focus our mind on the Father and what He has for us to do and for us to overcome, then that His will be done in us, no matter what it looks like. So we should take solace in knowing that Yahawashi has the final say, no matter what man says, no matter what man does, because we know we're going to come into times to where there's going to be a lack of food, there's going to be a lack of so-called medicine, there's going to be a lack of a lot of things, but we know where our healing comes from, and that is overall. That is not just in sickness, that is in overall, our mental state, our physical state, and our spiritual state. Yahawashi has it all in His hands, and His will be done. And that's why we should have our faith and trust and belief in Him and not man. Jeremiah 17:14 reads, it says, Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. So as what Jeremiah did, and as what we should always know, we should be prayerful that we are healed if we have anything that is afflicting us. And we should beg for it. We should know that only through prayer and supplication will we be healed or given what is needed in that time. So we shouldn't be so full of ourselves or proud to not want to come before Yahawashi in the way, in the proper way, in order to get what we need. And not that he is a lamp that you can rub and get 3 wishes. Is that he is our Father, and he is going to help his children. But we have to believe that he is who he say he is, and know that he is not a man that he should lie. He's going to give us what is needed and necessary in the time, but we have to put everything on the line in order to know that he'll do what he said. My final scripture is coming from James 5:15, and it reads, it says, "And the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall rise him up. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him." So even in our mess ups, even in our situations, we're not perfect. We're human. We will make mistakes. But when it all comes down to it, if our faith is in Yahawashi and we are in need of healing, if we're in need of forgiveness, if we're in need of anything, if our faith is strong enough to believe, in that faith we shall receive the blessing that is requested. But we have to believe first, and we have to come before him humbly with meekness. And also, we have to be obedient unto him as well. It's a lot of things that we have to do, and that is required of us in order to be healed. But we know where our healing comes from, and it's not man, it's not medicine, and it's not this world. It is of our Father, which is in heaven, that is looking down upon us and is continuing to cover us as long as we are obedient and we have faith, belief, and trust in him. So with that being said, that is the conclusion of my lesson. I pray that all that were listening were edified. And as always, I give all praise to Yahawah, BaHasham, Yahawashi, BaHasham, Rakakadash. And until my next lesson, Shalom.